Lex Luthor, Morgan Snickeroo. So much soul, about to bust out the room. All different flavors, way more than 32. From these shoes, you can't mess with these dudes. Nike, Reeboks, about to soccer knees. Golden Gooses on dude.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Soul Brothers, hosted by yours truly, Flex Luthor, and none other than Morgan Snickeroo. Today, guys, we have a guest, the founder of the Unboxed App. My guy, give us a small introduction and a formal, other than the Unboxed App. We're gonna show our podcasting skills today.
It's all good. What's going on, everybody? My government name is Mike Ogden, but I go by Mo. I am the co-founder and CEO of Unboxed, the sneaker management tool that you all need to make sure you're keeping your collection organized and your kicks on your feet.
I like it.
I have the Unboxed app, obviously, and it's one of the best tools I've ever used, because I was using a spreadsheet before, and I was very proud of my spreadsheet. Mm-hmm. And then AC, who we just had on from Better Every Day, he hits me up, was like, yo, like, you need to get with Mo, and he's got a whole different system for you. And so I hit up Mo, and I'm like, yo, like, AC told me to, like, or maybe you hit me up, and you were like, yo, try this out, tell me what you think. And I'm like, I'm so pissed because, like, I put all that work into the spreadsheet.
Don't feel bad. That was me. That's why I started it.
Yeah. And then so I was just like, yo, this is so easy, and I can track, like, what I'm wearing, and it's going to show me, like, what the value is. Like, I was hot. I was hot with you. I was so mad.
That's okay. You crossed over though, so it's all good.
I did, and I love using Unbox. I love
Appreciate it.
It's a lot of fun. So Mo, where did you kind of get this idea? I think you kind of alluded to it, but you were also using spreadsheets.
Right. Yeah. So I was real anal with the spreadsheets, right? Like, my spreadsheet had the style number, the price, the date worn.
Yeah.
And I literally was cutting stock images from the internet and putting them in the spreadsheet. Like, that's how extra I was.
Yeah, that was going to be my next step. Yeah,
it was going a little overboard. So what wound up happening was I was looking for a pair of white and red shoes, right? Just, white and red. And this is before I had front drops. And so I'm just going through boxes and boxes of shoes. And then I happened to come across a white and red pair of shoes. And I'm like, okay, cool, I can wear these. 2 weeks later, I'm going through stacks of shoes again, and I come across another white and red pair of shoes that I would have much rather had. And I was like, okay, this is just getting out of hand. So I said, there's got to be something that exists that allows me to organize and track my shoes. So I started looking on the internet, everything else, and I came across this one app. I forgot what it was called, and I paid the $6.99 for this app, and it was so trash. It made no sense. Like, it wasn't updated or anything. So when I come to find out, it was an app that had five different apps, and one was organize your sneakers, organize your DVDs, organize your comic books. So they weren't really focused on sneakers. It was just like, here you go. So at that point, I'm like, okay, I'm sure other sneakerheads have this pain point too. So I was a part of this group called Amino Sneakerheads, and I just kind of floated the idea out there to the group. It was like, like tens of thousands of us. And I'm like, hey, if there was a tool like this that existed to help you, better organize your stuff, is it something you guys would be interested in? And it was like, I got a lot of good feedback. So the goal originally was just to do it as, like a website. But then I'm like, we spend so much time on our phones, it only makes sense. Because that was the other thing that was getting to be, too time consuming. When I come home from work, I got to go to my laptop, open up the spreadsheet, put in the data work. Like, it's just too much. So I just say, if I could build something that you can track on the go, it'd be a lot easier. And that's where the evolution and the idea of Unboxed form. The fact that I couldn't find shoes.
So speaking of finding shoes and wearing shoes, we got to start off our episode with how we start off every episode and what is on feet. So what'd you wear today, Flex?
Oh, you gonna throw him in?
My hands are empty.
Hey, it's all right. It's all right. Today I went with the kamikaze low.
Dang, Morgan!
It doesn't get no class. It don't look. This is a classic, man. And
The low.
these look. I'm gonna tell you. A lot of people sleep on how comfortable the kamikaze is. It's like a pillow for the foot.
Really?
I love it. Yes, get you a pair.
So
Okay.
Because it's the padding the insole is actually, I think it's ortholite. It's like a special technology that Reebok uses for the kamikaze.
Hexalite.
Oh, right.
Hexalite, yeah.
Okay.
Hexalite.
That's
Bro, we about to. Hey, it's a good
It's
thing
all right.
Valley Boy Kicks isn't making TikToks anymore, man.
Wait a minute, huh? Hold on. I didn't even know that there was a low. I knew there was a high because this Sean Kemp, right? Wasn't Sean Kemp the comic? Okay. I didn't know those were low. Okay.
Yeah.
I might have to try a pair out for comfort. You know, I need to think comfort these days. So
Yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely comfort all around.
Okay.
What you bring that's uncomfortable, Morgan?
So I wore. Oh dang! Hold on.
Oh, I hate you.
Yeah.
I got these old things. Mo, what's wrong, man?
You know what's wrong.
What's wrong, Mo?
I can't buy them. No shoes till May, so I wasn't able to buy them.
Oh yeah.
I haven't bought any shoes this year. Not till May 1st.
Look, we're almost there, man. We're almost there.
But those are gone.
Well, yeah, that is true. These are the Nike and Undefeated Air Humara. This is the light Menta colorway. I like the black and like slate pair better, but I wore these today. I thought I went with the pink in my shirt a little bit better, and then purple on the insole and stuff like that. So yeah, I wore these today. Like, you ever seen these before?
Yeah, you showed them multiple times. You showed them when you got them.
Huh?
So you showed them when you got. Yeah. So,
I love
It's like
them.
I've seen them enough.
yeah, I'm still not impressed.
I wear my sneakers.
What color is that?
Light Menta.
Oh yeah. That's what you said last time too.
Is light Menta. Mo, what'd you wear today?
So let me take it off my feet because I got them on now. I got the I went with the Halloween donuts. Figured
Nice.
orange on the stripe, go with the orange on the shirt, and I'm always a sucker for the bottoms that glow. So
Yeah.
not like I'm gonna do anything with them today, but yeah, these work. Ain't nothing too crazy with that.
So
Nothing too crazy.
Mo, we got to talk about, man, that you are a huge. So are you from Buffalo originally?
Yes.
So you're a huge Buffalo fan, right?
Yes.
And
I see where this is going.
So I think we started talking about this before we went on air, but like your hat is not a Cincinnati Bengals hat because today is the day of the draft. Today is the NBA draft or the NFL draft, right?
Yep.
So what's the hat? What's the hat you got on?
So you're right. I had another hat that had some orange in it. I should have rolled with that, but I figured I'd switch it up. This hat is the Buff State Bengals, so it's one of the colleges in Buffalo. So right to Morgan's point, it is not a Cincinnati Bengals hat. Joe Burrow, do your thing. I want nothing to do with you. It is not Bengals. It is Buff State Bengals. Thanks for the clarification.
Stephon Diggs. That's all I wanted to say.
Flex, I need you to cut his microphone
Stephon
now.
Diggs.
Cut his microphone now.
Stephon Diggs.
And we play Houston this year in Houston.
Oh man, he's gonna go off on y'all. He's going crazy.
Crazy.
I know. I was going to the game. I was planning to go to the game before he got traded. Now I definitely have to go. So not happy.
So this is not the flex part of the episode because we're talking sports right now. So it is 12:15 on Thursday, April, whenever the draft starts. What is Buffalo doing?
Nothing. Because you see what we've been doing. Let me tell you, here's what we're going to do. You know what our first draft pick is going to be, or at least it should be?
Who's that?
A wide receiver. That's
What pick do they have?
We're way back. I want to say we're in the 20s, if I'm not mistaken. Because we made the playoffs. So that's we lost our number 1 and number 2 receiver. So we have no number 1 right now. So we need a good, strong receiver. I'm hoping that with those draft picks we just picked up from Houston, that we try and trade up and get. But I mean, our GM needs to be fired at this point. I mean, he's just dismantled.
Everybody loved Sean Bean, though. Everybody loves Sean Bean, right? Isn't that his name?
Who, the GM?
Yeah.
Well, they loved him because we were making the playoffs, and now, now he's just gutting the team this year.
Yeah.
I mean, since he's been there, it's never been this drastic of a cut. It's almost like he's doing a rebuild, but that's not the case. Like, so I'm not too thrilled or excited about the season.
Is there a receiver that you are hoping to get?
Anybody who I'd be hoping to get, we're not going to get because it'd be like
exactly. Yeah. Good point. Good point.
Exactly. So it doesn't even matter.
All right. I'm so hyped about the draft. I just wanted to put a little bit of that in there. And every time I've seen you, so you came out to All-Star in Indy, and I feel like, so I saw you like twice, and like one day you had on like a green, like an all green monochrome Buffalo Bills hat. And I was like, oh, that's a cool little hat. And then the next day you had like an all blue one on. I was like, okay.
I got a little everything, Morgan. All yellow, all you name it. I got it, man. I got it.
I was like, oh, he's really about this. he's really about this.
I'm not playing games, man. Between the Bills and the hats, man, I gotta make it work. I gotta represent. So
So back to the Unboxed app. This is, I mean, it's a great tool, right? But I feel like, and we've kind of talked about this before, but like people who have collections like mine and yours and Flex's, that is abnormal, right?
Yes.
So can you think of a reason why somebody who just has a smaller collection, like a lot of people who are getting into it, high schoolers, for example, right? They got 10 pairs, they got 20 pairs. What is the benefit of them using the Unboxed app?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think it's got, several reasons. I think that one, we also do like the restocks and push notifications. And so, we're giving them opportunities to grow their collection for retail, hopefully. It establishes like a small sense of community. There's some things we're going to do to open it up. But, with your friends, you can see what shoes they have in their collection. Those, when they're tracking or adding stuff, it's popping up on your feed. So, it may give them inspiration on pairs that they may not have been aware of, that they may want to get, go out and grab themselves. It kind of, like all of us, we kind of, even if you have 10 pairs, 20, 30, 100, 200, we all in some sense want to brag a little bit. So it's kind of like one of those bragging tools where you can kind of say, hey, you know what? Like if somebody came to you, Morgan, and said, hey, I got, these 10 fresh pairs, you might be like, haha, that's cute. But but that person who's got those 10 pairs, like, let's be realistic, they're probably their peers are probably not people who have 200, 300, X number of pairs like us. So to them, you show it to their friends, they're like, oh man, what you doing with 15 pairs? So it's kind of like, this like self-establishment, like a bragging tool. But, overall, I think, it's giving you better insight into your collection as well, right? And I think all that stuff is important. You can track, how much you paid for it, if you're up or down in value. And those are things that we should all be paying attention to as well. Cause the market, it's cyclical, right? So you gotta pay attention. So I think it kind of helps you get a little bit of, understanding your collection as you start to really get into this whole, sneaker endeavor.
Yeah. I can tell you, like, I always, whenever I like, put on there that I'm wearing a new pair of sneakers, I always get likes from people. And I like that, right? But then, like if Flex wears those low top kamikazes on there, right? Like I want to be able to dislike it. I want to be able to put a thumbs down on there. Right.
Morgan, it's about building people up, man.
You're right. We're trying to build community. We're trying to
build community. You don't want to be there thumbing them down.
Why are you wearing those?
Right. Yeah. So we don't want to add that in there. But at some point it's going to be, we're going to add it in there where people can actually communicate. Because I call it a community. And, we want to make it more where it is like a community, right?
Yeah.
But for us, the big goal first is with any community and you want people to stay and retain them, you have to give them value, right?
Mhm.
So if we just sit here and have this community and we don't have a lot of features or things that are, or tools that are helping you, you're going to come in, you're going to chat, and you're going to leave. You can do
Yeah.
that on
Yeah.
Instagram. You can do that on Twitter. You can do that elsewhere. But if I'm giving you value up front and I can draw you in from there, then I build in the community. You're more likely to stay a part of our community than not,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, 100%. I remember, Flex, I don't know if it was like this for you, but when I first got into sneakers, I had a lot of people telling me like, bro, you wasting your money, you doing this, you doing that. Like, did you have that same experience, Flex?
Nah, it was different for me. It
For
was
real?
way different. Yeah, it was way
So
different for me.
yeah, I was in the Navy, and so like
Oh yeah.
I had people who were getting married at 18 telling me I was making bad financial decisions.
you married at 18?
No. Like,
gonna say-
yeah, other people, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
they
that's
was-
what I mean. Like, okay.
yeah. They were telling me I was making bad financial decisions, and it felt very alienating, and it felt like, you know, until I was able to get into like the forums and getting into the Facebook groups, and I think that Unbox it kind of cultivates that, because it's like not only is there like-minded people on the app, but like I can compare my craziness of 600 pairs to somebody else's craziness of 600 pairs of sneakers, right? So like you said, we've been talking about it a lot lately, cultivating the culture and you know, getting more people in the culture, and I feel like a tool like Unboxed is great for that.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
like that. I like that. I got a question. So I know, Morgan, you have like 600 pairs. Is there like
636.
So is there like what you call like a rank of like who has the most shoes? Like this person has. I think it would be cool.
So you just touched on something. Okay, so see, how about to have me like give all the secrets away? So
No.
Please do.
the goal, no. So yeah, it's like some stuff. Yeah, we can talk about it. I can talk about a bunch of stuff. But so that's one thing that we are going to eventually do is you like gamify it, right? Because let's be honest, like people like to compete. And
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
you know, by having like these challenges where, you know, Morgan has 600 something pairs of this and certain pairs get you ranked higher, you know, it kind of, it brings you onto the platform more. It gets you more engaged with the community. Now it's like, okay, I got to try and outdo Morgan this week, you know.
Yes,
or, you know,
sir.
what can
I
do?
like that. I like that.
So that is definitely a feature that we are going to add in there, gamifying it. And, you know, people will be ranked. They'll be given, you know, titles and things like that. It could be like, hey, Morgan's the mayor, blah, 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 whatever. But yes, to your point, you know, Flex, that is definitely
I like it.
on our radar for sure. For sure.
I'll tell you, man, I'm a very cocky person. And
I didn't notice. I haven't noticed.
and so I'm sitting here like, you know, I've been talking to Mo, and we've been, you know, talking about the app and stuff. And I'm sitting here like, I mean, he never had anybody on the app like me. Like, I mean, I got 600 pairs of sneakers. And then just one day you just kind of drop like, oh yeah, Morgan, like this one chick, she got like, you know, over 1,000 pairs, like 1,600 pairs. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
bro, what am I supposed to do? How can I compete? I was distraught, man. I was distraught.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was distraught.
Yeah. It's some people that I'm looking like, you have what? And they're very wide ranges, you know, like there's this one guy, he's overseas. He's got like a little under 1,200 pairs, but his collection is extremely diverse. You would think he'd be, okay, he probably got a bunch of Jordans. It is not even a bunch of Jordans. He's got some Jordans sprinkled in. Like he's touching on a little bit of everything. Cause you know, he said, you know, culture overseas, I forgot exactly where he was. It's a little different over here. You know, everybody's not Jordan heavy there. So I was looking at this like, wow, this is just crazy. And the things you hear people talking about, they have these sizable collections, but it's another thing to see it. Like one day I literally was like scrolling through and I'm like, this is crazy, you know? So, I mean, it makes you think about things, and it makes you kind of want to like branch out and step it up a little bit, but be financially responsible, of course.
At the same time. Yeah, exactly.
You know,
because like it tracks like when's the last time you wore something, right? And so it's like, and you got that notification kind of looking in your face like, hey dummy, you haven't worn these sneakers in a while. You haven't worn these sneakers yet. They're just sitting here. You're gonna wear them. You haven't worn, and it tells you the last time you wore it. It's like, hey, you haven't worn this pair of sneakers you paid X amount of hundreds of dollars for in a month and 5 days, right? Like, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? So it, even in a roundabout way, it kind of helps with that kind of financial responsibility part where it's like, yo, if you're not wearing these sneakers, like, it's telling you the value right here, man. Like, go, like, take care of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it really is like, it is like a sneakerhead tool. It is like, I mean, it blew my my spreadsheet out of the water, and that's what pissed me off so much, was because I was like one, so two, this is kind of twofold, right? One, I've always been bad at Excel, and I took a college course and I got good at Excel. And so I started making spreadsheets, and this was during COVID. This was during COVID too.
Oh, okay.
So I'm making spreadsheets for everything. I'm making spreadsheets for everything. My homeboys were telling me, so this is when Warzone first dropped. They're like, yo, every time you get off the game, we win. And so what I was trying to do was I made a spreadsheet and tracked the stats, right?
You're kidding me.
God. I'm telling you, I'm tracking the stats. And so I was like, okay, these are the stats of when I'm on. And then after I got off the game, I was like, yo, send me a picture of the next like 3 games. And I was like, because I'd also taken a statistics class, right? And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna see if this is outside of the of like what's normal.
Jeez, Morgan.
But yeah, that I got a little obsessive with spreadsheets, and I was like, I mean, I put a lot of effort into my spreadsheet, and then you're just like, oh yeah, I got an app that does that and more. So that's why I got a love-hate relationship with you, Mo.
And that was like when we were going back and forth. That was one of Morgan's biggest flex. Like, I was like, you probably got more New Balance than something. He was like, nope, you're wrong. He shows his whole spreadsheet. He goes through, like,
I was using it for content.
Yeah. I was like, this dude really has a spreadsheet, bro. That's what I was like, yo, this dude has too much time on his hands. I don't know what he does for a living, but it's not work.
I teach tennis.
I was like, yo, that's crazy.
That is funny though. But I mean, but that, to your point, that's the thing. Like when you get these notifications, right? Like, and you hit the nail on the head. Like, we're spending all this money on shoes. Sometimes things get overlooked because we're living in the now, right? Like, I might buy 2 pairs this week and then a pair next week, and then pairs are just sitting. So if you really think about it, you've got some people have like, several thousands of dollars just sitting in their closet. And so the goal is like, hey, most of us buy stuff because we want to wear it, not just to have.
Right.
So it's just like, why don't we help remind you, hey, you have this, why don't you get it on into your rotation? And those notifications are going to get heavier. Like, we're working on some stuff because it's like, hey, like, let's get you wearing your stuff, right? Like, I don't buy anything to not wear it, but I will admit I have, I'll be up there. I got a pair of Frag High Travis Scotts I bought last year. I have not worn them one time.
What's
It's just like, what are you doing? They're 12.
Oh.
But it's like, it's like, what are you doing? Like, I got, this is the last pair I would tell you. I got a pair of Blue Toe Union ones, right? Last year. They're sitting. I have not worn them yet. Now, sometimes, you want to pick and choose where you want to wear stuff. And sometimes it gets so bad where it's like, you know what? I remember one time I wear a pair of Dornbecker 2s when I had them to Walmart because I'm like, okay, stuff is just sitting.
You gotta wear them. Yeah.
And then of course I'm getting stopped because, people are like, you're actually, and people wearing the sneakers, you're actually wearing those and you're at Walmart. And I'm like, otherwise they're going to sit. So the goal is to help you get stuff into your rotation, get comfortable. Creases aren't going to hurt you. Dirt's not going to hurt you. Like, that's what they're for,
Yeah. So you're not a big social media guy. Like, you don't post a lot of social media, right? And
as far as like my personal?
Yeah.
I do Nah. Well, finish your question and we'll go.
Yeah. So I was gonna say, like, for me, it's like if I'm wearing like a real cool pair of sneakers, like I have to get a picture and I have to get like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So with you, right?
Mhm,
Like,
mhm.
especially with the collection that you have, like, do you feel like you have to like get that picture and then like that's how you like confirm that you wore the shoes? Because to me, it's like if I had that like digital photo album of like, yeah, this is this shoe, this is that shoe, then I feel like I've actually worn it. I don't feel like I've worn it until I take a picture in them.
So back early on, I used to do a bunch of on-feet pictures, right?
Okay.
Like, and I think I told you this before, like I had like a bunch of PEs, I had a bunch of rare pairs.
Yeah.
Like, and you know, most of those I sold and put in the unbox, right?
Right.
So, I mean, you know, I'm wearing everything. I'm snapping pics because it's just like, people are like, whoa, you got those? And I'm like, yeah, I got these, you know. Now at this point though, when I did it early on, it was like a strategy, right? So it's like when I was first taking pictures, I had to get myself out there, right?
Mhm.
So, you know, you build, and that's how you build, you know, community. You're getting active, you're on people's pages, they see you, you go to events and all that stuff. Now the mindset is kind of shifted to where I need to be focusing on strategizing, on building the company and talking with you guys to figure out where do you guys see gaps that we could potentially be fixing.
Yeah.
And then I lean on people like you, Morgan, who, you know, take the pictures to kind of bring spotlight to us. I don't need to do that anymore. Now, reason number 2 is I can't dress for shit. And hopefully I'm okay with saying that. I'm not a fashion guy. Like listen, high school, I'm gonna tell you this right now. You know, people were coming in with Carl Kanai and cross colors and FUBU, and I had a few of those pieces, but you weren't nobody. And you can ask all my friends, nobody was touching my shoe game. Like I'll roll up in a paper bag, but have like the freshest pair of Jordans on or whatever. And I'm like, what you gonna say? Cause you ain't got these.
Right.
I'm still like that, you know, like I'm not. I see people put things together and I'm like, I don't know how you did that because I never would have thought of that. I suck at fashion. I suck. So
hey,
you don't want to see this.
Some of us can PTSO and some of us can't. You know what I mean? That's what I always say.
I can't. I'm very honest with it. I'm not one of these guys who throws on fits and then I go on and, you know, ragging on people like, oh yeah, my fit is the shit. I'm like, no, I know my fit is shit. Not that shit. It is shit. So I'm not going to, you know, I'm cool. I mean, luckily I have a nice personality and that helps me get by. Other than that.
You were kind of fresh at at All-Star.
I'm not going to embarrass myself, right? Like I will go, like when you see me in the vet, I'm going to look nice.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be that dude that you're like, damn, you see that fit? I'm never going to be that guy. You know, because I don't even know all the resources where I got to talk to people like you. Like, where are y'all getting clothes at? Like, I don't know all those resources.
Supreme.
You know? Oh, see? I got 4 kids. I can't be doing all that.
That's a good point.
I can sprinkle it in, but, you know, my wardrobe can't consist of that, you know. So.
Yeah. One of these, I gotta like keep collecting up on clothes and sneakers because I don't have kids yet, man. So, like,
Get it
I
now.
need to be able to hold myself over through there.
You can.
Yep. Yep. Enjoy it while you can. Yeah.
I
once
am.
that happens.
It's all right. It's all right, Flex. It's all good, man.
No, yeah, it's all good. It's all good over here.
You got some kids, Flex, or no?
Yeah, I got a daughter. I got one child.
Okay. See, so he knows.
Yeah, I can still. I got a little wiggle room.
That's why
wiggle room.
That's why he just in an old regular Nike branded hat.
Oh,
he representing Nike.
The A6 school guy hits again. I tell you.
So hold on, because I just thought of something. Right, you wore that hat today. Oh,
I told you whenever I get on the pod. Whenever I get on the pod, like I'm unchanged. I don't got some comfortable clothes because I don't know if this is like this for y'all, but like my out clothes, like I cannot get comfortable in them. Like I can't come back home and sit down and be like, yeah, we chilling.
Your pants are too tight.
No, my pants are not too tight.
What are you wearing? Like you wearing like button ups and slacks or something? And shoes?
Nah, I just like I don't.
Okay.
I think it's because I put so much like thought into it.
Oh,
and, like,
okay.
I'm making sure this is clean, this is pressed. I got like I make sure my tank top is tucked in. I got my watch on, got some jewelry on. I'm making sure everything's good. So like I can't just like we good.
Yeah, I'm with you on
Yeah,
that.
nah.
I can see that. That's also
So-
why
You start your jeans.
Morgan just throws on anything, so it's comfortable. Like he could put on some airplane pants and a 3X shirt and throw on a Kif hat. He's good.
I
So,
PTSO. I PTSO.
You
Now
try to.
Flex.
But go ahead.
Flex. You start your jeans.
Do I starch my jeans?
Yeah.
I used to. I used to.
Really?
back in the day.
Hold on. What brand? What brand is
I used
starch?
to-
You're using Niagara.
That's the one with the mountain or something like that.
Yeah, with the waterfall on it.
yeah. Back in
It's
the
like
day,
my dad. My dad.
Yeah, I put the crease in there. My mom showed me how to put the crease in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, don't keep it in one spot. Don't keep it in one spot.
No, I'm gonna tell you. So my brother, he used to put cologne in the iron.
Yeah.
He would like spray it in there. So once it steams out,
Yeah.
like the smell will go all over his clothes. So he never had to spray on cologne because he would put it in the iron.
But he's still using it.
What you mean?
He's still using the cologne. It's not like he's saving cologne or anything.
No, but I'm saying, but like it's just, but the smell was more like on him because it was hot or something. Like it was just like,
did that work?
it worked. Yo, I'm telling you, all my techniques I got from my brother. He used to do some of the craziest things, bro. Like,
do you do that now?
no.
Yo, that is so.
I got a kid. I can't do it. You lucky if
right.
shoes match walking out the door. But nah.
Oh man, I'd have never thought about that. Cologne didn't. Wow.
Yeah, my brother used to go the extra mile. But now I just get I get my fit ready the day before because my girlfriend and my daughter, they gonna take up 6 hours to get ready. So
But I'm gonna say Flex is organized. Like Mo, you know this too, man. I am like, I don't text back, right? it takes me
unread messages
Bro.
now in his phone from me.
Do I? Have you texted
Exactly.
I don't text back. I mean, we have a group chat with all the content creators in there, and and no, Mo, you're in this group chat. I'm talking about us. I'm talking about us, man.
I'm thinking like
Mo's like
content creator. That's okay.
No, Mo's like, oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, oh okay, yeah. Oh no,
I like that idea.
And man, look, I mean, they will talk like all day, and like it's healthy and building community, and it's very helpful. But
yeah, go ahead with
if good information is put in there that I miss, because exactly, because it's like I don't read text messages. So everybody's picking up on stuff, and I'm like, oh yo, I'm supposed to do it right. Like the other day, you're like, yo, can we meet at this time, right? Completely missed it until later on, and somebody responded to it. So
it's all good, man. You made it very clear. Morgan was like, yeah, so I don't like reading. I was like, okay, good to know. So now anything I send to Morgan, I got to keep it like the two sentences,
and you got to put it in pictures. I need pictures.
Yep.
Right, yeah.
Hit him with hey, these drop, and when he reply, oh, those are cool. Boom, throw it in there. Have it already
sick because Flex. One thing I've learned to do managing people is meet them where they're at. Right, instead of trying to get people to come up here. Like Flex is really good at meeting people where they're at, right? And so instead of being like, yo, like you're not taking this seriously, like you just, like you over here making jokes and you don't even respond to text messages. He's like, he will send me a TikTok and be like, yo, what are they on right now? And then I'll watch it, of course, because it's a TikTok. And then I'll respond and he'll be like, by the way, and I'm like, yo, he got me. He got me to respond. And I love that. Yeah. I mean, hey, you got to meet people where they're at. Like Mo, like you said, man, I don't like to read. I can read.
You gotta know people. You gotta know people. You got to cater to that. So I can't sit here and send this big ass paragraph and expect you to take everything out of it. So I was like, all right, let me dumb it down. Let me pull out what's important and get it to him and cross my fingers.
Let me get on some ADHD medicine, man, and then we'll see if I like to read then.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
I'll be saying like,
just say it like, nah, don't
hey, look,
you don't want to do that.
So this is we've already talked about on this podcast, like me being on antidepressants, but like my content had to like change. Like it changed drastically after I started taking them. I've had to like find it again, right? Because I'll see videos from like a year ago and I'm like, yo, that looks like a completely different person. And now I'm just like chill and like kind of not really zoned out, but like I'm definitely zoned out. Like
not zoned out, but I'm definitely zoned out.
Yeah, right. Like I see what's going on. Like I can see what's going on, man, but it's like, all right.
Do you feel the content is better now or then? Or about the same? It's just different.
It's just different. It's different.
Okay.
Cause like, perfect example, right? Obviously, maybe not obviously because not a whole lot of people care, but me and Valley Boy Kicks are getting into it on on TikTok, right? And so I basically told him like, hey, you're being a jerk to people, man. I made a video about it because he essentially he makes a video about this lady's GS size military Blue Force, called him fake and was calling him all sorts of names, calling her all sorts of names. It came out that the sneakers were real; they were just GS. And then he kind of apologized, but like anybody who called him out, like he was like, mental health. Like I got mental health. Like I can't, mental health issues going on. And so then, like I called him out, even without seeing the videos about his mental health or whatever. Which still, at the same point, like claiming mental health doesn't give you
excuse it.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah.
And so then he said he was leaving TikTok and then came back to follow like the same weekend. And then I made another and then he made like 2 videos about me, like about some New Balances. And then he made another one about like ending my career. And they were just like little jokes fired. Right. And so I made a video and people were like, all that to say, like, if this were to happen a year ago, I would be like making videos, not cursing them out or anything like that, but just getting really, really disrespectful. And now I'm just like, whatever. I got one in the chamber. But this is for emergencies.
So okay, because me and Morgan can joke like this.
Okay.
So you meant to tell me our whole beef was just because you were off the meds. That's why. That's why you were going back and forth with me.
Yes.
Oh,
that's crazy.
It wouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen today,
bro. That's like a full circle moment. I know you talked about getting rid of your PEs and your rare sneakers. So correct me if I'm wrong. So you meant like you sold them to like invest into the Unboxed app,
right? Yeah.
So So my question, as you have a strong love for sneakers, a passion for sneakers. Did you ever like think like, I don't know if I want to do this? Like, is this really gonna work? Like, should I really do this? Like, what really pushed you? Because I know it would have took me a year and a half to be like, okay, I'm finna sell this and this is what I'm finna do.
It took a minute. So the thing is, when I first initially invested in Unboxed, it was money I had saved and the money out of my 401k. And then, but the thing is, like, we're bootstrapped, right? Like, we have very small friends and family investment. Like, Unboxed is paid out of our pocket. So, we don't have the big investment. So it got to a point where certain features needed to be implemented and we just didn't have the money. And so what I had to tell myself, and let me tell you, this hurt, right? I had to tell myself, if I go out to solicit an investor and the investor knows about sneakers and I get asked the question about how much in sneakers do I have? And they say to us, well, then why haven't you liquidated any of your shoes to invest in your business? Right. Why should I invest in you if you aren't even using your own assets to invest in you?
Yeah.
And so once I started thinking like that, I'm like, you know what? This hurts, but I believe in me. I believe in what we're building. So I got to show an investor that I believe in the product. And it's been asked, like when I've got in front of investors, they have asked, and I've told them, yeah, I sold $40,000 to $50,000 in shoes that I will never touch again for a fact, right?
Yeah.
Like I will never touch them again if it's not for price, because they just don't have them DS anymore. Certain pairs, like I have to have DS, like the my Grail. This one hurt the most. My Grail. Everybody has like 30 Grails. Or I had one Grail pair, the Tokyo 5s, yellow Jordans. Right. I bought them for a little over 3,000. I won't sell them a couple of years later for 5. But that is my Grail, and because they were Asia only release, bigger sizes are very scarce. So 12, 11. So a couple of years ago when I was checking with a buddy of mine who's real tapped in, like by the time if I get to buy them again, I'm probably never going to have a DS pair. And that's a pair I have to have DS. Right?
Yeah.
Anything else, I don't mind if it's worn. But yeah, it hurt. Now it's a little easier on some pairs if I have to dump them. I haven't had to sell anything recently. But that it hurt. But again, you got to think bigger, right? Like I'm thinking long term, and too many people think short term. Like, oh my God, I'm gonna lose these shoes. But give me 4 or 5 years when Unboxed is like, you know what I'm saying, top notch. It's your shoes, I'll be all right. So
I can tell you, man, that sounds tough. And I can tell you, so like you're talking about investors, right? But when I was looking at joining the team as an ambassador, when you told me that you did sell your sneakers, like, I mean, I'm not an investor or anything like that, but like it made me believe in the product even more.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Cause I'm like, because I'm coming from a place where if I have $1 million idea, if somebody says, hey, yo, this is $1 million idea, I just need $40,000, right? Like it would be extremely hard for me to say, like, I would be like, no, it's okay. You know what I mean? Hey,
That's
it's
another
okay.
way. That's another way. That's another way.
I'll figure something else out. Thanks for your time. Right. So yeah, when you first told me that, because I feel like that was like one of the first times we called each other, you told me like that you sold all those sneakers. And you didn't tell me that you sold the Tokyo 5s, right? But you were like, yeah, I sold like you said, $40,000 to $50,000 worth of shoes to fund Unboxed. I'm like, oh, this is real. Like this is like he's not playing around. So yeah, that is incredible. It is incredible for sure.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta bet on yourself. That's the thing,
For sure.
Sometimes you gotta take risks. Sometimes you gotta take calculated risks. But I mean, I'm very just knowing what's coming down the line with Unboxed. I'm strongly believing, and I don't say this to talk bad about other. The thing I look at it is like this. I've been into sneakers for over 30 years, right? Over 30 years. I didn't just start Unboxed because I saw the opportunity to capitalize and make money off of sneakers. I genuinely love this. Like, that's why I go to events. I'm answering emails. Like, I'm in the weeds because I love the culture, right? Yeah. And so, you got other, I wouldn't say competitors, but you have all these other apps and everything that are popping up from people who are looking at sneakers as a way to make money versus having a genuine passion. And it shows because when you sit here and look at, this platform might come in to compete with this one, but they're doing like small things that it's like, oh, well, we're not going to have any seller fees. We're not going to do this. It's like such small things that it doesn't show that you're really forward thinking. Like if I sat here and told you everything right now that we have, like, that's coming, and we got sketches, images of it. Yeah. You literally would be like blown away because we're thinking way out there. So when we get investment funding, I'm telling you, and I'm not even being cocky, like you said, Morgan. I'm not cocky. We're gonna absolutely blow a lot of these other platforms away because we're and our backgrounds. Like I'm an engineer. My business partner, product manager, so he deals with apps. 30 years between us and sneakers. So between 30 years of sneakers, engineering, product background, we're not thinking like a 20-something-year-old who just loves sneakers. Like we're thinking like, okay, how do we get people on and how do we retain them? And most importantly, how do we give you value, right? That's what it's about. If we're not giving you value, we're not doing our job.
So I know about some of the things that are coming with Unboxed. What can you share today? What can you give? What can you give us? Because I'm not trying to put anything out that I'm not supposed to and get my wrist slapped. Is there anything that we can talk about?
I could talk about we're coming to Android.
Yeah, I mean, and that's big, right? I mean, that's big because
listen, I'm getting cussed out.
Look, because
I know what you finna say. I already know where you finna go.
Go ahead,
because I know that my responsibility when I'm making content for Unbox is to include people, right? But at the heart of everything, I am a jokester, and so it has been hard, Mo. It has been hard to make content about Unbox coming to Android and not being like, hey, so y'all who finally skimped out on your on your phone.
You know what? Why not? I mean, it's not. You know what I'm like. I talk smack to people all the time, like friends of mine, where they're like, man, when you coming to Android? And I'd be like, when you stop. I said, coming to Android. I said, when you gonna stop using primitive technology? You know,
so I got the green light. I got the green light.
You can joke around, you know, like because I think like that's just. It's all playful, right? You're not coming at somebody negatively because there's always that Android iOS battle. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like it's all in fun. It's all in fun. You know, but yeah, I mean, it's, and that's the thing people have to understand, right? So the goal, you know, we're looking to be, you know, on Android release May 6th, May 13th, right? I got an email and I don't know what's going on lately. I get beat up all the time. I literally had somebody email me and said, I'm going to reach out to Google and petition to have your app removed from the Google store. Literally email. I don't know who this guy is, right?
But why?
Because and I get it, right? It's a good thing. It's a good problem. The product has never been out on Android. Like when I released Unboxed, it was 2017. We're talking 7 years. So, but we've gone through different things. It's like, you know, the app was out and then we had to start really saying, where can we really establish value? And the biggest thing people don't understand, and they don't care necessarily, is we are not a big company. People sit here and see like StockX or Nike and all that, and they think that we have money like that. And I'm like, that's not the case. Like we are bootstrapped. So the reason it's not on Android is because we've had to generate the funds to put it on Android, right? Like, why would I discriminate, right? Android users are paying customers just like, you know, iOS. Like I would love to have you on here, right? Not just for, you know, so we can generate more revenue from you, but so that we can, you know, share our product with you. But, you know, we can't do that because, well, now we can do that, but we haven't been able to do that. So
the green messages don't get it, man.
I know, and I get
green messages.
The green text boxes don't get it, man.
One of my buddies is actually an investor. He put in a small investment, and he's on Android. So he's always giving me shit about it. He's like, man, I can't believe I'm joking, right? You know, he believes in the product. Man, I can't believe I invested in this product. You're not even on Android. I'm like, you can always upgrade your phone because your wife is on iOS. Like, what's the problem? At least one of y'all smart enough to do what you need to do. So, but you know, it's all in fun, man. You know, it's gonna be out there in a couple of weeks. And, you know, I look forward to, you know, welcoming and inviting, you know, those Android users to the platform and just keeping it growing, man. That's what it is, a big community.
I feel like Flex at heart is an Android user, with his sneaker collection.
What you mean?
Like Android, what's the Android user sneaker collection going to look like? Kamikazes.
Don't let him get on you, Flex.
Classic leathers.
I want to hear this.
Classic leathers.
Classic leathers.
Hey, look, I'm going to tell you right now, the Android users are going crazy for those new Julius Randle Skechers that are coming out.
Oh, wait, he's with Skechers?
Wow. He's with Skechers, yeah. He's with Skechers. Julius Randle's with Skechers. And I think Embiid with Skechers?
He just signed a big deal.
Embiid's with Skechers, too. So, I mean, they are clamoring for those Julius Randle and Joel Embiid Skechers. They're still wearing Hyper Dunks with jeans in the Android. Say, yo, I cannot wait to put my Hyper Dunks in every color on Unboxed.
I ain't got nothing to do with this. I'm sitting back. Add whatever you want. Like, I've seen some pairs on the app that y'all be looking like, really? You want this? People have me add their workout shoes in.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, like, like if that's what you want to try. But yeah, like,
I'm gonna have you add the 99 products joints that we got because I haven't done that yet.
If so, remember,
okay,
if there is a URL to a clean image of it, I can add it.
Okay.
If there's no URL, then I can't add it.
I bet there's a clean. I'll find one. I'll find one.
You find it, we got you.
Yeah.
And it's that's another thing in the future we're gonna change where we're gonna let users add stuff to. It's kind of like, I don't know if you guys have used MyFitnessPal before. Okay, so MyFitnessPal, the food tracker app, where if you scan something and it's not in there, they got this massive database. People can go in and add it in themselves.
Yeah.
So we're going to have that functionality. The thing with us is we have to be able to control what people are uploading. So you punch it in, we would have to be able to verify it and then add it. Otherwise, people might, do dumb stuff. Right, exactly. And we don't want. And what the funny thing is? You're laughing, Morgan, but when we had this conversation like a year and a half ago, that's literally what one of my business partners said. He was like, you don't want somebody adding. And I was like, yep, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's we're going to get there. We're going to get there. But not right now.
The database that you guys have is crazy because, again, me being cocky, I'm going through and I'm scanning stuff and I'm like, bro, ain't no way this is in here. And lo and behold, there it is. It's like, it's right there. Man. It's got a clean picture. It's like, I mean, the database that you guys have is incredible. And then even if you don't have the sneaker, I just have to email you guys and, it's like, you're like, yo, check again. And I'm like, oh yeah, it is there.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys work, you work fast. Like it's clear that you want this program or this platform to be the best that it can be, and you almost seem like a perfectionist with it, and I love that. I love that.
I like it. Here's the thing. Here's what I say, right? And I say this, I'm very confident. I think we have the number one sneaker database.
You
right?
do 100%.
All inclusive. Like, I'm telling you, right? It's better than StockX. It's better than Flight Club. It's better than GOAT. It's better than Stadium Goods. And the thing is, those brands are focused on popular and hype stuff.
Yeah,
we're all inclusive. So Unboxed is not just for resellers and people who just want hype stuff. Like, we want to get everybody in there who just, like, some people, like you said, who might only have 10 or 15 pairs of kicks and ain't into the madness we are. So I want to be able to get your stuff in there. So in order to do that, we have to have that, have a database. Like, our database has almost 100,000 pairs of shoes.
Yeah. Like, there was a pair of Pumas that I got. That was a Slum Village collab. And when I was going through my first initial scan, putting everything in, they weren't in there. And I had a whole pile of things that I needed you to put in. And
you did.
And I didn't even, this was separate, right? This is separate. Like I mean, this pair up here, oh, you can't see it, but I've got a pair behind me that has to go in.
Okay.
But this was in that pile, so I went through the pile again without even like talking to you, and they were in there, right? And I was like, bro, there was no way like anybody else got the shoe, and then 2 is putting it on box. Like, I mean, you really putting that stuff on there.
I get obsessive sometimes, right? Like, if I see somebody add a shoe in the feed and there's no picture, I'll even just randomly go through like new users, people's collections, and I start looking, and if I see like blank images or things like that, I'm like clicking, and then I'm backfilling.
Yeah,
right? Because
you do that to me all the time.
Yeah, like, like I tell you, like, hey, Morgan, check this, or but I want you to have an like, I'm putting myself in a user's shoes. I want you to come on and have an enjoyable experience. I'm a user, right? Like, I don't just have the app. I use it. I pay for it, right? People somebody hit me up last week and said, what you guys charge is too much. Like, I'm sure you're not paying that. I'm like, no, actually I do. Like when we had insurance, I paid each month for insurance. I pay annually for this. Like, and that was my choice. Cause we had the option to say, let's give ourselves back the money, but how can I go to you and say, pay for this product if I'm bypassing it myself?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So yeah, man. So we want to give you a good experience, and that's get as many of your shoes in there as we can. Not a problem.
Yeah.
So I got a question for both of you guys, because I got the co-founder on here and I got an ambassador. So I follow the social media page, and there's a lot of great things that you guys do on there. But all these features I didn't know about. Like there's a lot of features that I'm hearing. I'm like, oh, I didn't know you could do that. Oh, I didn't know you could.
Do you use the app? Do you use the app?
I don't. But you need that to pull me in. That could be your selling point. Like, oh, okay. Because a lot of people may have this perception,
right?
And I'm be honest with, I'm the average consumer. So like, I'm just like, okay, you can do this, you can do that. But now y'all tell me, I'm like, it's kind of like, okay, I'm raising my eyebrow. Like, I didn't know you could do that. That changes the ball game,
And we just talked about this too, Flex. Right? Like I told them, I said, our next set of videos that we're going to start creating, which I need to get them some stuff today, it needs to be, it's one thing for us to spotlight some features and people are like, oh, that's cool. But it's more so about telling a story about an experience that relates to you, that draws you in. So Morgan, for example, it could be like, I got these clunky spreadsheets, and then kind of go through that. Somebody else who has a spreadsheet, now they can relate. And it's kind of like I told them, I said, it's like a James Whitner, right? Like they are great at storytelling, and a lot of people can relate. And that's why they love the brand. It draws you in. So we have to do better about drawing people in as far as how are we helping, solving pain points? How our product is relatable, and how are we giving you value? Not just so much, oh yeah, that's a nice feature, because you can sit here and say, oh, that's cool, and then you're going to keep going right by. Right. But if I can really show you, like, hey, look, if Morgan does a video, or Ashley or Gabe or one of the other ambassadors, maybe Morgan's doesn't relate to you, maybe Gabe's doesn't, but Ashley might do something with her problem, and then Flex might be like, oh, now you got me. Yeah. Now let me get on and do more. So that's on us to do a better job of conveying the power of all the tools that the app has. Like one thing that I laugh at all the time is, the avatar, the smallest things, your avatar and your profile picture. A lot of people don't even add an avatar picture or a profile picture. And a lot of people don't even realize they can do that. Or, or at one point you used to be able to sync it up to Instagram so that you could check somebody's Instagram name. It might be different on Unboxed, but they can still find you. So that's on us to do a better job of really laying out the power of what Unboxed can do. And those are some things that I just talked about Morgan with. So you're right, Flex. We gotta, and I appreciate that, right? Like, I love when people are like, oh, that's cool. But I respect people who are like, okay, this is nice, but here's where I see a shortcoming. Because without you telling me that, I don't know that we need to fix this, right? Because a lot of people might be thinking like you. That's what I respect in life. The people who reach out and give us the feedback about this is cool, but respectfully, right? Of course, like don't say, your shit sucks. But that's what I want to hear. Like I get excited about that. I'm like, damn, I didn't even think about that. Okay, so I'm glad you said that, Flex. So we need to do better on our end about that, and we did have a discussion.
Oh yeah, that was we just talked about that the other day. Because before, like when I was making content, I was just like, yo, like this is dope. Like you can track your my favorite part is like seeing what the rotation is, right? And Flex and I we discussed like, yo, like we should do like we should have a spot for it. This was our rotation of the week, sponsored by Unboxed or something like that. Just like having like little ideas like that. But that's one thing, to both of your point, like that's one thing that I thought was cool, but is easy to pass by from other people, right? You know what I mean? Yeah. If I'm like, yo, like this was my rotation and you can track it on Unboxed. They're like, all right, bet. Like that's dope. And then keep it moving. It's something I never even thought of before. Right. So
there are things we got to do, I feel, to kind of get people more engaged and things to spotlight. Even like the wear tracking, right? Like what people didn't realize is if you look underneath, you'll see your shoes. All you got to do is if you're that day up, just swipe and hit it
Yeah.
and automatically log it.
Yeah.
Versus you don't have to click on the shoe and then go to the wheel and then do all that.
Yep.
Which people might, it's not tedious, but it's the difference between maybe taking 10 seconds versus 2 seconds. That
Exactly.
2 seconds, so.
And I had to pick that up. I had to pick up on that by myself. I was like, if I
See,
slide this over, the little calendar thing's right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I also like exploring things, right? Like I like exploring and trying to figure out the features. But you're right. Like we should, oh, hold on. Sorry, I just got a text message from my boss.
Are you looking?
No, they're looking. No, they're looking at other health options. But like, not everybody does that, right? Like, it's a challenge that I'm finding with myself because I'm an inflective. What's the word? Introspective person.
You want to be like a flick? Oh, I thought you said you want to be like Flex.
No.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm introspective. Is that I usually only look at things from my own point of view, and I think that my point of view is everybody else's. And what I'm finding is that most people, they don't like to explore. They want everything.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's not any fault of their own. That's just how they are.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to try to like put myself in the mind frame of the average consumer. To make better content. So people want things quick and easy, right? Not everybody wants to explore, and I mean I'm guilty of that as well. You want it right in front of you, easy. How do I do it? And that's what we have to get better at doing. Like we're going to change up the onboarding process when people first log into the app to kind of help guide you through some stuff. We had a way of doing it before to kind of get people understanding here are certain features. But now it's like, okay, let's kind of help really spotlight some things so that people are more engaged. So, we're definitely aware we got to, do better at that. All this is good feedback. Good feedback. So I'll ask you one more question, unless we find out more because,
Sure.
But what is, so if somebody's listening to this and they're like, I don't have that many pairs of sneakers, like this product isn't for me. What is the average amount of sneakers that an Unboxed App user has? What is the average amount of sneakers?
Sure. So everybody thinks that the average user on our platform has like hundreds of several hundred pairs of shoes. The largest makeup of Unboxed users has between 10 to 20 pairs of shoes.
So that's like, I mean, I know high schoolers who have that amount of sneakers.
Yeah.
Right.
My daughter has that amount.
Yeah. Right.
10 to 20 pairs, and the average collection is worth $5,000.
Yeah.
So we're all inclusive. Don't be scared or turned off by the fact that I've only got 10 or 15 pairs. I can't get on that platform. Like, no, get on the platform, and make some friends and see what they have and get inspired for things that you may want. And, we all had to start at some point when it came to collecting. So, I mean, that's the way I look at it. I got a user now. He's up to 15 pair now. He just got the app. Most of his stuff I've had to manually add in because it's nothing that's hype. And he hit me up and he said, hey, I appreciate the fact that you're adding on stuff. I apologize. I know, my collection is not that great. So, I appreciate you adding this unknown pair. And I said, don't ever sit here and say that your collection's not great. Like everybody's collection is unique in its own way. If we all liked and had the same things, the shit would be boring. So I said, don't ever, downplay your collection. Like your collection is your collection and you should be proud of that. And if somebody doesn't like it, that's on them. But don't ever think like that. I'm here to help add stuff on. And if you got any questions, like about shoes or pickups, hit us up, So.
Yeah. I want to make it very clear, this is me not being a cynic, that having these giant collections that I have and Flex has is very much outside of the norm of like, it's not the way it's supposed to be.
15,
20 pairs is a phenomenal collection. That is an incredible collection. But if you do aspire to have a very large sneaker collection, one, be responsible. Like pay the bills, get the bills paid, or you're not gonna have anywhere to store your sneakers.
Exactly.
And it's a marathon, right? Like it is definitely a marathon, and it's strategic and it's stressful and it's rewarding. But don't feel like your collection is less than because it's not multiple hundreds. I'm not going to say it's a problem, because it's not a problem, but it is not normal. It's it is very, very abnormal to have a collection this size. So, I mean, 15-20 pairs of sneakers, like you still need to organize them, right? Like you still need, because like even one of the things that one of the features that Unboxed has is even like the color, right? Like it'll show the model, right? It'll group them by model, it'll group them by color. And so it's like, okay, crap, I need a black and white pair of sneakers, like you were talking about earlier, Mo. And you can just go and hit red, or red and white. Sorry. You can just go and hit red, and then you're going to see all the red sneakers that you have. Like, you know, it is 20 pairs of sneakers is hard to manage, let alone 600. Right. So, don't feel like this conversation is above your head just because you're like, oh, well, I don't have a collection like them. No, you shouldn't have a collection like that.
Right. Yeah. Right. It's almost right. It's like a gift and a curse.
Exactly. Exactly.
I would agree with you. My goal is to get down to 50 pair. Like I'm down to 175 now. The goal is, I want to get down to 50. I think this year, actually towards the end of the year, I'm going to probably donate a good amount of pairs. Cause I look and I'm like, some of these I don't wear, and I know that I'm not going to wear, because, you know, as your styles change, so does your taste, you know, like how you dress and everything. And so, you know, which is one reason why I don't buy like athletic shoes anymore. Like I know, you know, people see all these things coming back out, like the Jason Kidd 95s. Like I remember having those. I'm like, oh, I would love to have those again. But I know realistically, I'm going to buy them and I'm not going to wear them, and I can't style them properly. So I'm not going to spend the money. So yeah, to your point, you know, like 15-20 pair is a good amount of kicks, and we are abnormal for sure.
Extremely abnormal. Extremely abnormal. I always ask like tennis players, right? Like when I first meet them and they find out that I've got sneakers, or like if we're doing like trivia or something like that, like, hey, we got to pick a champ, right? I'll always be like, okay, how many pairs of sneakers do I have? And like, they don't know where to start. And I say, start with a number that you think would be way too many. And they always start with 20. You know what I mean? They always start with 20. And you know what I'm saying? So like when you just said that you're trying to get from 175 to 50, like just to let you know like how weird me having this large collection is, I was like, oh my gosh, 50, like I'm shaking, like I can't even think about having that. Like
50, that's not enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Not
right.
enough.
Like how you gonna wear a different pair every week?
It's just a goal. We'll see if I can. You know, it's because to your point, you know, we have so many, and unless you're able to wear, you know, a lot of people, you know, like, you know, wear something different every day, right? And I'm guilty of. I get comfortable with certain pairs that are favorites. And so now you got all these pairs just sitting here, and it's just like, you know what? If I'm not wearing them, if I can, because I know me, like growing up, you know, when I was younger, my parents didn't buy me Jordans or any of those things, right? It wasn't until I got a job where I was able to get that. They bought my shoes from Payless. I got picked on. I said, I'll never let that happen to my kids. My son's got Jordans stacked up. He can't even wear them yet. And so, you know, it's one of those where, I'm
not going to tell you guys where, you know, everywhere I keep sneakers, because I mean, I've got some behind me in the kitchen.
I was gonna say, I already see you be in the hallway with it.
So I had to move them out the hallway. I already had to move them out the hallway. But
I mean, I think I just reached right at 300. and I got a full room dedicated, like a full room, and I'm still like, how can I
finding space?
So for you to have 6 double what I have right now, I know.
I'm gonna tell you. This is a
mess.
this is a Soul Brothers podcast exclusive announcement. We have a bathroom that we don't use.
Oh my god,
that's crazy,
man.
Morgan.
Are you kidding me?
I'm serious.
You got kicks in the tub?
Bro, where do you think all my Buy Better Everyday boxes are?
That is crazy.
It's clean.
This man said the bath.
Y'all think I'm lying? I'm gonna clip this. I'm clipping this. I'm clipping this for Instagram, and I'm gonna put a picture. I'm gonna put a video in there.
Please do. I want to see this. I've heard some stuff, but the bath.
Yeah.
It gets bad because I'm in the process of selling my house, and we're looking for a new house, and I'm like on the list is extra room.
Yeah.
Like, not even for
Yeah.
It's for the shoes, bro.
Yeah.
Like I need a large room for the shoes. I don't care you wear whatever else. I don't care.
Yep.
I just need that large room for my large collection that's gonna continue to keep growing. That's not gonna stop. So like we can't move into a smaller house. That's not out of the question. Not happening, bro. Yeah.
No,
not happening.
When we were looking for a house, my only thing was like I gotta have a room for sneakers. And she was like, oh my gosh, this house has a retention pond in the backyard. And I said, I'm not trying to hear all that.
Extra room?
Is there a sneaker room?
Right.
Extra room?
Yeah. So, and I've got like underneath the bed, like I keep my Converse like underneath the bed and my Vans underneath the bed with like the smaller boxes and stuff. But
you got sneakers everywhere.
It's everywhere. These boxes aren't filled yet. But you know,
he said the bathroom.
But
wow.
Look, I thought about we've talked about weatherizing the garage, and I don't want to put it in the garage. Yeah, so that's the only thing. Because like, if we had a
just move the kitchen in the garage.
Hey, that's not a bad idea for real.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna do it. No, Caleb would kill me. They're eating with rats, eating with mice.
No, don't do that.
Nah. So we're getting to the end of the show. This was a great one, and Mo, we've talked about having you on for a while.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. I'm happy that you were able to get on here with last minute.
Of course.
Let's go ahead and go to the showcase. Flex, you have to go first on this one because I got a special pair. Special pair.
You got an unboxed pair?
Kinda.
I think it's like what 2-1 right now.
With what?
2-1.
With who having a pair related to our guest?
So I went again with the kamikaze.
What you spill on him? What you spill on them?
It's like a piece. Yeah.
I like.
So as you can see.
Oh, nice.
It's kind of like so it's like a peace and love pair. And what I like about these, they're black and white, but they still got like all the coloring going throughout. So it's not too hard to style because you can just kind of go in with the black and white and you just got your little pops of extra colors throughout the sneaker. But yeah, that's my showcase shoe.
I like
that's
that.
Cool.
I like that.
So one of the features we didn't talk about today, Mo, with Unboxed is a legit check.
Oh yeah.
So you know what pair I got, Mo?
TikTok.
So Mo, you know what pair I got, right?
What you got?
So this is
the pair that didn't pass legit. It is.
I already know what that is. Oh, you went back and got him?
So
okay, that was funny.
So
oh man.
One of the features
what reps to the
showcase? Reps to the showcase?
Yeah.
So Yeah, so Unbox has a legit check feature, and so me being me, I had 2 pairs of sneakers in my collection that I was unsure of. One of them was these, and the other was the Master 12s. And I was 100% sure that the Master 12s were going to pop back as fake, and that these were going to pop back as real. Actually, I was about 60-40 on these. And these pop back as being fake. Somebody said, I think Haas was like, yeah, man, they don't even look real. And I'm like, sorry, man, I didn't know. But like, I went through all of like I was going through Reddit of like, what does a real pair look like? And I was like, oh yeah, these look good. I mean, I don't see what's wrong with them, but I guess, yeah. This is and it's a friend who sold me a fake pair of off-white Air Max 90s.
Said that too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I hadn't been wearing them because I was like, what if they are fake? So yeah, this is my showcase shoe.
Okay. But then I guess it's on me then.
It's on you.
My showcase shoe is I got these in 2016. It's one of 50 pairs made.
Oh.
So it's the Rest Panther cruise trainers.
Oh.
Yeah.
By,
I remember those.
Mm-hmm. So I know they were doing if I'm not mistaken, where they would do like, some type of pink related shoe. And I'll make it quick because I know we got to jump. The thing is, I got these, I'm in the DC area. I remember buying these. I paid, so like I said, they're 50 pairs. I paid $2,000 for them. And I remember at the time when I was married, I told my wife, like, hey, I bought these shoes in Jersey. You mind if I drive up and get her? She knows I'm in the sneakers. She's like, boy, you're always doing the most, but yeah, go ahead. She ain't asked the price, which was cool. So we wound up going to an event a week before I had to go pick up the shoes. And of course, she tells this story to her friend, like, oh, you ain't gonna believe, Mike driving up to Jersey to get some shoes. And the friend's like, oh my God, he's crazy. Why is he doing that? How much the shoes cost? I'm like, why you gotta put me out there like that? And then she was like, oh, she was like, I assume they cost regular price, right? I'm like, we don't need to talk about that. Then she was like, Michael, how much did the shoes cost? I had to tell her, like, well, and she's about 200. I'm like, add another zero on that. She was like, what? But I said, it's only one of 50, So I heard about it for a little bit, but
Mo, have you ever thought about lying?
You know what, man? I look at it like this. At the end of the day, I work hard. And I'm taking care of the house and everything. Yeah. So if I want to spend $2,000 on some shoes, I'm gonna spend the $2,000.
I'm spend $2,000.
Now,
you know what? Yeah.
That's my limit now. Now that is not the most expensive pair I've bought. That pair, I lied. I couldn't tell how much I spent. That was way too much.
Can you tell us here?
I can tell you how much. Yeah, here it was $5,500, and that was a deal.
On what?
Oh,
okay. A pair of Oklahoma 4Ps. When they first came out. So I had a buddy of mine, he had 2 pairs and me and them were cool. He was like, hey, these normally go for $7,500, but for you, I can knock it down to $55. I was like, deal, I'll take them. So.
And what did you tell her?
Never even came up. Once I got the shoes, I started hiding stuff in my trunk and like Flex, I used to have a sneaker room and when we did a podcast, I had a desk set up in there with all the shoes. And because she barely came to the basement, she didn't know what was in there. Now, she did realize it got bigger because the one day she came and she was like, I'm on the podcast live. And she was like, what's this? And she sees like all these extra shoes. Yeah. So she never specifically asked about that. She don't know. So I got away with that one. Yeah.
I love it, man. I can tell you, this is the last thing I'll say, and then we'll wrap it up. When the sneakers started going into the hallway, like Flex said, I would try, cause like with my schedule, I work when people are usually not at work, right? Being a tennis coach. Right. And so I was usually home when the UPS man would drop off the package, right? And so I would, throw the box away, right? Like throw the UPS box away. And then the sneakers would just start piling up. And so Kayla would always be like, you got a new pair of shoes? I'm like, no, I didn't know. And she was like, come on, man. Like, all the sneakers are in the hallway. Like, she's not dumb. She's not a dummy. Like, she knew I was getting new shoes.
She's like, you're not slick.
Yeah, she was like, hey, you think you should slow down? I'm like, I haven't got a new pair of shoes in a while. She said, come on, man. Come on, man.
Right.
Like 4 or 5 days, 4 or 5, maybe 2 weeks.
A while to me is a week. A mile to me is a week. But hey,
it's been a while.
A while is relative. So Mo, we appreciate you joining us today, man.
Course.
This was a blast. I am definitely looking forward to seeing what Unboxed has got coming down the pipeline. I know what some of the stuff is, and I love it. I'm super excited for the rest of the world to get to experience the app. Do you have anything else you want to say to us?
No, first, I just want to, thank both you guys for, having me on the show. Morgan, I appreciate you, the content you spotlighting Unboxed, Flex, I know you downloaded it, hopefully, if you got any questions for me, man, or, whatever, that'll get you more engaged, whatever, just hit me up, man. But for everybody out there, you can find us on Unboxed_app on all social platforms. And like I said, just, Android's coming out in a couple of weeks. Just give us a download. If your collection's spilling over and you're trying to, get more organized, definitely something you need. Don't worry about the size of your collection. Like, we're all inclusive and looking forward to having new people on the platform. That's all I got.
I love it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Flex, any final words?
Man, I'm glad you, took time out your day to come talk sneakers and more, and give us some insights and some details on the Unboxed app, man. Love what you guys are doing. And I know the big things are ahead, so looking forward to it. I'll be watching. I will be partaking, engagement, and all that great stuff.
Excellent.
But, guys, we'll see you again next week. Love, peace, and sneakers.
So brothers, so brothers, retro 7s, retro 3s, metallic 7, retro 11, sitting on freeze. They got so